Hi, everybody. I am Sun Psychic Jean. Please welcome my special guest today, Valerie from Illumination Portal. Hi, Valerie.
Hi, Jean. Thank you for having me. I love
Thanks for
coming on with you.
thanks for coming. It's so much fun having you. Welcome back. Valerie's been on my channel a couple of times. Valerie is a unique talent. She has the ability to read astrology charts and let us know what's going on in the skies, as well as use her intuitive skills to connect with the guides and interpret these happenings for us simultaneously. So I'm so honored to have you back, Val. So nice
And
to see you.
thank you. It's nice to see you. I love the astrology, and it is a unique reading. That my readings are. Um, is it okay if I explain a little bit?
Oh, please do. Yes.
Um, they're we're one on one on Zoom. I record them. I have your chart up, and my guides talk to me about what is important. It's not just your natal chart. Let me back up a little bit. It's your natal chart in conjunction with where the stars are in the moment we're talking. So when I read your chart, I get a lot of information from our guides. I do a little ceremony to connect our guides together and to be together and to make sure that you get the pertinent information you need in the moment. And these are good for about a cycle, like a few months cycle. Um, Sometimes they'll go a little longer. Sometimes there'll be something imminent that you really need to focus on, and and that all comes out in the reading. And they're about an hour and a half, 2 hours long. And like I said, I record them and I send you the recording. And I you can email me for a reading anytime at loveucu11 at gmail. Did you want me to put that in there?
Yes, please do.
Okay. And Jean came up with a really good idea today. I have, I think I'm 3 subscribers away from, um, let me get this real quick, from 200 subscribers. And if you would like a reading and I get past 200 subscribers, so I would only need 3, and you put the word moon in, and I can go through and I'll pick a winner and give you a free reading.
I'm going to put that in there.
Thank you. You know, I'm having a hard time texting. All right, there we go. So this is the 16th of April. On the 19th, 20th, it's the 20th in Eastern time zone. We will have a new moon in Aries that's also a solar eclipse. Um, we won't be able to see it in America. This is over the Australia, New Zealand, Asia. But this is an unusual eclipse. It's called a hybrid eclipse. And we get about one of those a decade. So this tells me, okay, that this is a very important unfolding coming up for us individually and for the collective. We had an Aries new moon eclipse last month in March, and that was at 0 degrees. This one is at 29 degrees. Okay, so these are the critical degrees in astrology. There's 30 degrees in 12 times, 360 degrees. So each planet, I mean, each house has a 30-degree orb. And that means most people think, well, that's 1 to 30. But in astrology, it's 0 to 29. And to go from 1 month, a 0 degree new moon in Aries, to the second month, a 29-degree new moon in Aries with a solar eclipse, this is the universe speaking to us, telling us that there is change coming. Change is on the way. Change is here, really. And we've probably been feeling that in the last couple of years. Uh, we went through a lot. since 2020, and we had a lot to reconsider. We restructured a lot of our lives, how we do things. Like we're online all the time. Uh, all different aspects of life have been affected. But this, what is needing to go, because an eclipse is meaning something is being released. And if if you've probably been working on something these last couple of years, something has been, um, it's time to change your job or change a relationship or change where you live or something. And it doesn't even have to be something that huge. It could be just a belief. You want to change how this belief isn't working for you anymore. um, but something is changing for all of us, and on an individual basis and on a collective basis. So it is good to do those type of releasing ceremonies on new moons. And I usually say, write it down, what the things that you would like to change. Write it down, and you can burn that. And then I usually say, and then make a list of the things you do want to incorporate in your life.
That's very important.
Yes, it is so important. We're going to empty out, we have to fill back up. But don't do it at the exact moment of the eclipse. That's the only,
Oh,
yeah, thing
interesting.
about
Good.
this. Yeah, you want to do your release anytime that day, that night. I think it's on the East Coast. It's 12:13. I have to look real quick. But so not many of us are going to be up at midnight. Yeah, it would be it'll be 12:12. Well, how interesting is that? You know, I'm a numbers person, and when I see,
Wow,
yeah,
that's
repeating
amazing.
numbers, yeah. So that's on East Coast, so it would be 9:12 Pacific time, and 4 hours later, literally 4 hours at that would be 4:13. It's one more minute. The sun enters Taurus. So we're going to be leaving Aries, leaving that Aries new moon, and Aries is about us individually. Aries rules the head. It rules how we want to go forward in life, and a lot of us might have felt like, I feel like I'm behind, or I need to do this now, and that's really not a good. It's not that it's bad. If you have it already lined up and you're ready to do something, do it by all means. But if you're on the fence about something, let this eclipse season pass, because we're going to get more information every time the planets go around the sun and they hit each other, um, meaning they go by each other or go by uh, parts in our chart. It turns on a light. It gives you more information. And
Oh,
so if you don't have all the information, by all means, hold off and wait. Do your releasing ceremony to get yourself in that vibration. Then, after the next day, make that list of the things that you'd like to incorporate in your life, the things that you would like to plan for this year, because this is all really intensely creative energies, and it has been since the equinox last month, which that next it was even, I think that was like 4 hours later, or it was a few hours later, where we had that new moon in Aries, the first one. But something is really important with the 0 degrees to 29 degrees. Something that we either made a decision. It almost feels like a decision energy, like you wanted to do it, but you're afraid to do it, but you made the decision at that 29 degree, and you're going to do it, right? So give yourself that space. Don't rush. Take your time. I know it's hard.
yeah, it's a good time to take self-care and to
Yes.
take a little extra time. Make sure you pamper yourself. Make sure you get like all your plans in order. It's the time to regroup and rehydrate, renew, and get ready for the next race. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
because it is truly like the year is starting. Now, it was that on the equinox, but this is really like saying this is it. This is the new energy. What were you going to say?
Wow, that's why we had that resting period, and now it's going to ignite and start pushing us forward.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
Really cool. I mean, this is all new. This is all new energies. This is new. None of us have been here before. We're creating and and going forward in absolutely phenomenal energies. I mean, but it's based on you. What does your heart want? What do you want? I mean, I don't even like to use the word want because it doesn't really leave you anything but wanting. So I say, what does your heart prefer? What does your heart desire? What is it that your biggest dream, your biggest wish? This is time to go for it. It really, really is. But we don't have to go tomorrow or, on the day of the new moon. Make your plans. Make sure you're lining up everything. All your ducks are in a row because this really is all new energies. And this is worldwide. This isn't just us as spiritual people or spiritual beings. We're here and we have more of a focus on how, at least I do. I know Jean's a high vibrational too. How to raise a vibration here, how to help Mother Earth raise a vibration so we can all raise in vibration and live in a more harmonious environment. But so when we have these type of energies that we've never seen before, we've never had. Um, in fact, the last 7 full moons have been at 16 degrees. That never happens. That was spirit showing us, because 6 plus 1 is 7, and that's spirit's number. And that was spirit guiding us, helping us get all that uh, all that stuff that was hanging on us that was no longer useful to us, to really look and say, okay, I would prefer this. I would prefer to live here. I would prefer that, you know. And if you're listening to spirit, you've got a good foundation, because they've really been working hard with us. And and then the sun goes into Taurus. Okay, that 4 hours later, well, Taurus, he goes and he physically brings in all the things that Aries was uh, making plans for, dreaming about, concocting, everything that you do to get get yourself lined up in the right direction. Taurus actually goes and does it, and
Wow.
takes us to that. Okay, how do we go from here to there? And Taurus will really help us make that happen. But not a day later, we go into Mercury retrograde.
Oh
So
my gosh. When is that?
that's April 21st. Um, that's Mercury goes retrograde in Taurus. Okay, so the sun's walking into Taurus, but Mercury's like, well, wait a minute, we forgot some information, because Mercury is the information. He's the one
Oh,
making sure that we were listening. We had uh, all the lists. We've been checking and rechecking and going through it, but this based on listening to your heart. So if you forgot anything, this is the beauty of Mercury retrogrades. If there's anything you forgot or anything that you overlooked, or just it wasn't available yet, it'll bring that information to us. So, and this is a 3-week retrograde. This is a normal one, but you're gonna. It, to me, it's like, okay, so we're walking into Taurus Sun, but then Mercury goes retrograde and says, "Wait, is this how we really want to do it?" Because remember, he does the physical parts of it.
yeah. It gives you the time to renew, review, and recalculate and just check over everything. Like,
Yeah,
check it twice.
yeah, all
Cut
the
once,
leaves.
measure twice.
Isn't that the truth? I like that. And that's seriously about Taurus is like that. Cut once, measure twice. This way we don't. And I'm not saying that it's going to all run smoothly and everything's going to go perfectly, but we have these, we have our guides, we have spirit, we have the planetary help, you know, and the planets are half of that's half of the information. It's what we do with it is the other half of the information that makes our life, right? So I think it's going to be fascinating. But then just to make sure everybody knows, this is eclipse season. So we get two eclipses um, in the spring and two in the fall. This is going, we've been in the nodes, have been Taurus and Scorpio. They're changing. Okay, so we're going to Aries Libra, and that's the first one on the 21st, the new moon. But on May 5th, we're going to have the last Scorpio lunar eclipse. So now Scorpio is about making sure everything has been sufficiently examined. Every underneath it, behind it, in front of it, above it. So, you know, these two eclipses are really important, okay, because that one's ending. That one's ending the node cycle, that Scorpio Taurus nodal cycle. And I really think that Scorpio one will show a lot of the stuff in the world that's constantly trying to come in and throw us off our center. The news, I have a thing, so, is going to show us things we never would have thought. Uh, you know, we were assuming a lot, and
Well, that's a good point, Val, because what we're talking about, and as you're talking, I got the hit that this is not just about our own lives and our own affairs and our own surroundings, but it's also like a global and, you know, universal type of energy that's going on everywhere. So it's manifesting in different ways. It may affect us directly, or it may just affect what we see, or it may just affect how other people work around us, you know, because it depends on where you fall within this chart. And this is why it's important for you to get your personal, is it a birth chart or what would you,
yeah,
is it
it's a natal chart, but
natal chart? That's what I
and
was,
it's with the current transits. So it gives you that that
how does
look.
this affect me?
Yeah, right now. It's what's going on right now. With my natal chart, because we're born with that chart. It's our divine blueprint from spirit, um, and it's there to guide us to be the information that you seemingly don't think you have, but you do. It's in your chart, and if you can use it in conjunction with the planets that are ongoing in the moment, to me it's so beneficial.
It is. It is. It gives you something to think about, and it gives you a perspective outside of what you can measure against. And with that said, I just would like to announce that you have now surpassed your number of subscribers that allow everybody to enter into the contest. So if you would like to enter into the contest for a free natal chart reading from Val, just put a comment in, including the word moon, all in caps, and you will be considered for actually, do you want them to email you instead with the word moon?
Ah, yeah, that
Because
would that would be
it would
easy.
be a little easier than us trying to contact you
Yeah,
after you do that.
here
Do
I'll
you want
put
to
my
just have, no, you do have your email here.
okay.
If you would email Val with the word moon in the subject line to enter the contest for a free natal chart with Val, just email her at loveucu11@gmail.com.
Uh,
I think
Thank
that would, yeah. And so go ahead and email that with the moon, the word moon in the subject line, so she knows you want to enter in the contest for the free reading, for the free natal chart reading from Val. And Val she does such an amazing job because she's also connected uh, intuitively with the guides. spiritually connected, and she reads the natal chart using her intuition as well as the information from the planets that she knows from studying astrology. It's a beautiful mix, and she does such a wonderful way of making it personalized to you, and connecting with your guides as well. It's really I'm getting my second one done, and it's really a beautiful thing. I know that a lot of other content providers have spoken very highly, and maybe we can put a what you call that, a testimonial for you, for the
Oh,
people who have gotten it, and
oh,
you
that
can
would be
post that on your channel as well. Yeah.
yeah. I
Lacey. Hmm.
go ahead.
Lacey's saying moon. I see a lot of people putting moon. Go ahead
Yes,
and email
thank
the
you.
to Valerie at Illumination Portal. The email is up there in the box. It's the word love, or it's letters saying love, UCU, the letters U, the letter C, the letter U, and 11 at gmail.com. It's right here. Oh, I'm pointing. You guys can't see. It's right here. I always do that. I point on StreamYard instead of
Uh,
YouTube. So, and with the word moon in the subject line to be entered in the contest for a free reading with Val. So I'm so happy that you've reached your goal for your subscribers, and thank you very much, everybody, for entering and supporting Val. We really appreciate that. That's great.
thank you.
Well, I'm going to leave that off because that doesn't say the right
And
thing.
I
But
do make this understandable. I don't use all the jargon. I don't. Last thing I want to do is confuse anybody because it's already the spirit talking through me, and it. I don't want it to be confusing. I don't want it to seem uh, distant. Or that doesn't make sense. But I make it really easy to understand and really in regular terms. I don't use a lot of astrology terms. I mean, I have to for the names of the planets or the
but
houses, but
she explains to what that means for you and what that means for us, and what that. It's really, it's interesting. It's very interesting. So we might take a little snippet from my next reading with Val, and show everybody so that you guys
oh,
know what it might look like for you.
thank you,
Yeah.
Jean. Thank you for helping me. It is really sweet. Thank you.
We
I
have a
love
lot
this
of
little contest thing. It's so cute.
Let me see. I don't think I can redo that one, but if you would email Valerie, I see a lot of people putting moon in here. Just email her with the word moon in the subject line. And because I did have put it in the post, but it would be easier if you would put moon in the subject line to her email if you want to enter the contest. That would be
Yeah,
lovely.
yeah. And I may give more than one away because this is how it's so important to know your information, and not only your birth information, but what's going on right now with the planets. Um, it, if I I give them away. I have given them away for years, and I charge very little if you do want to sign up for a reading. It's really inexpensive. As I know, when I was out there trying to figure out who I was and where I was going and stuff, and some people want $400 for a reading or $700. Oh, thank you, Jenny. And it's just it's important to make everything affordable. Everything is from spirit. It's and that's how I am. I, I'm here to help you understand your guides, your spirit, and um, to me, that's the most beautiful thing in the world that anyone can connect with.
And we're all going through this. We're all opening up. We're all expanding our awareness. We're expanding our knowledge, our perspectives, and it's a really important information. And with astrology, it gives you it backs up. I don't know, Val. Do you have something else on? I hear a little bit of a background. Do you still have your phone on or something? Because
I
I hear
I
my
think that
voice.
might be the fish tank. Does it sound like
No,
a
it
low
sounds like
buzz?
my voice.
Oh, no, no. I'm sorry. I don't have anything on. I don't.
Okay, it's probably
It's,
just me then.
the
Um,
fish tank's new. That's why I said I can hear the buzz, So I'm like, oh goodness, you can hear the buzz.
no,
Okay.
no, it's not a buzz.
Okay.
So I was just saying that astrology is something that is it is based in a historic precedence
Mm,
that this is what happened when these planets were here
yeah.
at this time,
Yeah.
and it has repeated itself, and it has been um, a likelihood, a very high percentage likelihood. So if you want to know what's coming up in your future, astrology is something that is something you can almost, it's very, I don't know, would you be able to rely on it? It's not, what would
I
I,
think so. I think there's still, because it is one of the oldest divination. Well, man has been trying to understand the heavens for since we arrived here, and when they would create charts back then, I mean, they can create charts on a computer. You can get your own natal chart, no issue. But that back then, watching all those planets and they would make, they would make note of what happened during this, during that, during it, and over the time. I mean, and there's so many. If you study astrology, you can pick like certain aspect and see how it behaved throughout time, and it's so much of the same things occur, and and it repeats. It's not. It can't possibly. Now, I guess you could interpret things wrong, or somebody could, but it's not even. I use it as divination, as your guides are talking to me. It's just like if I was using cards. You get those hits, you get them, and there's no mistaking it. But there's a certain way when you lay out a certain card reading, you just know that's this is past, this is future, or whatever, how you're doing it, right? And it's the same thing with that, and it's really, yeah, it's so valuable to know this information for yourself, just so you can understand, am I on the right path? Should I be looking over here? So, and I never know what the guides are going to say. I don't. I've never had no idea, and it's really sweet. They're sweet readings. They're nice. They're to the point. I'm not going on and on. Uh, if I see something challenging, I say that in the most comforting way I can, and I get information on what you can do for those challenges. So don't think that you would be left wondering what was going on.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, and it's an opportunity for growth as well,
Oh,
and to be forearmed is or forewarned is forearmed, and yeah, it's so much. It's I really love, and I've been my guides have been nudging me toward to pay attention to the astrology. I was a moon girl for the longest time, and then obviously I'm sun psychic, and the sun cycles and the equinox and the solstices and stuff, I and it really affects me and moves me. And then I got into the planetary. So you have, if you go in cycles or you go in steps for yourself, but we are all connected. These are all energies. We are energy. We
yeah.
humans are energy, and the world and we're all made up of energies, and it does affect each other. It does affect different energies affect different energies. It's really it's fascinating, really
It,
fascinating,
it
and it's
is.
really helped me a great deal.
Yeah. And it is, and there's so many great astrologers. I mean, you can, just to watch the moon cycles to begin with. You watch the new moon and full moon, and you just do that for a few months, and you get that feel of, okay, this usually happens, or that happened, or it's always in a different sign, but it it really enlightens you to so much of what's going on around you. What looks like seemingly nonsensical things start to make sense because you're okay. Well, the moon's in this sign, or every time the moon's in Scorpio, it's it's intense. It's the moon changes every 2.5 days. So I keep track of that, and I can feel it. Like Jean was saying, she can feel this. I feel the equinoxes and the solstices. I feel it all too, and it's so interesting to see how that plays out in your life, or in those around you. You know, and it's a good way to really get in touch with your, like you said, your energy, your surroundings, to understand. Because spirit, this is another thing. Spirit talks to us in every moment.
Yep, they do. All of us.
Yeah, and not that's exactly, not one of us get more information than the other. It is how we listen, interpret it, and interpret it.
And this is another way of listening.
Yeah, yeah. And our perceptions mean everything. So if we say, "Oh, I'll never know astrology," because I used to say that, way when I was a lot younger, and then I was like one day, well, why don't you? Why don't you learn? And I was like, so I called in astrology guide helpers, and that's how I really got connected with it. It was
Wow.
really cool. It was really cool. It is really cool. I love it. And there's something you can learn every day, and things you notice every day in your direct vicinity or in the external world. You can tell. It just an easy thing. Oh, well, you can tell when there's a full moon if you're out in public.
Right, just by people's behaviors, yeah,
Yeah,
and what's
yeah.
going on. So, with the eclipse coming up, is there anything that people should do personally or prepare personally?
Mm.
Should they,
Yeah.
put water out? I don't know, but is there anything?
Oh, yeah. I usually put water out on the new moons and full moons. I don't know. Well, if there would be no harm in having eclipse water if you use it to want to remove something. So, say you put that eclipse water out, and I just thought of this while you were talking, and I want to lose a few pounds. Well, why couldn't I drink that water and say, okay, this is to help me remove the weight I don't, I no longer need. And that's just the beauty of it all. Like, we set the intention, right? So we dictate the terms. If and that goes for everything in our lives. But um, definitely write down the things you don't want to deal with anymore, or you'd like to change and improvise or improve on, and burn that one. But then wait a day before you write the one of the things you do want to. I do that one. To me, that's the easiest one. It doesn't get. Hey, you could use candles, incense, sage. You can do all that stuff. Um, and we just had a big help from Jupiter. Jupiter and the Sun were Kazimi, and that means in the heart of the Sun. Jupiter seemingly looked like he was going into the Sun, but he's actually going around it. And
Oh,
they're conjunct, which means they're together for about a week. That was really uh, it's like the luckiest day of the year. Really, it is, because they're together, and Jupiter grows and expands everything. So if you put any
oh,
intentions out on this last week, it was a really good week to do that. And I do that on my community board. I always put out the astrology that's going on or upcoming, uh, right there that day or a day before, just so people can stay on top of, oh, okay, Jupiter and the Sun are together. And I say, make a wish. It's your, create create the world you want to create. We're the magic. We're all magic. We're all energy, like Jean was saying. It's really, really, really cool.
it
And
all
whatever intentions we want, we can create. Go ahead.
It all ties together.
It
It's
does.
all tied together. It's all related. And we
Mhm.
all can feel these things, you know. I mean, anybody that's here knows that we all talk to spirit and connect to spirit with mediumship, with psychic abilities, with intuitive abilities, different types of people that come on and have different modalities. And it's not any one thing is right for everybody. So that's why we like to introduce many different things. And it's just a little bit of information, whether you get the information about the moon or the sun or the eclipse, a little bit at a time. You don't have to become an expert, but just to get the exposure and to understand that we're all part of a what is it, macrocosm? What was
Yeah, yeah. We are macro.
What's
We're in a microcosm. We're in a microcosm of the macrocosm, right? Of the galaxy, the universe, or is that what you? Uh,
something else that you call it? I'm not sure what is some, I don't know. I forget the term. That's why I
right.
have value.
We are. We are. We're just so. I mean, it's vast, right? Space is vast, and to me, it was pretty interesting. Like, think of the first humans back in the from our beginnings, looking up at the sky, going, "Okay, let's track what that means. What does that? What happens during these certain aspects?" And the planets are always moving; they don't ever stop. Nothing stops, and that's something about the universe that's really interesting. If you think about it, it doesn't ever stop. Never stops going. So, oh, sorry, my son opened the door. Now I lost my thought.
That's all right.
But
A- And all of the indigenous peoples of all of the earth, all over the earth, had began with this. And do you think that they thought of it themselves, or do you think that they were spiritually guided because
right.
they could hear? I mean, there's so many things that we're going to be going back to.
Oh my goodness, yes. And just think how in tune they were. They didn't have all the electromagnetism running through the air, and I mean we're electromagnetic beings, but there wasn't power sources or that we know of. There may have been, but there was no interference with the
Oh,
connection,
that
right?
they must have, yeah, they must, yeah. It was like they were living in conjunction with spirit, and I think
Yeah.
this is what humanity was always meant to be, is to live with in conjunction with spirit. And yeah, it's just been changed all these years. So I just want to refresh everybody that's just come on that Valerie is holding a contest for a free reading, one or two. She said she's going to be giving away. And if you want to email Valerie at the letters LOVE, letter UCU, number 11 at Gmail. And the way it sounds when you read it, it sounds like loveucu11 at gmail.com. I have it listed right here. You can send her an email with the word moon in the subject line to let her know that you want to enter the contest. So I'm going to go ahead and take this down. And Val, was there any last things that's important for us to know? And while Val is telling us that, we're going to begin the readings now. So we're going to be doing some spirit guide readings, some personal readings, just no legal or medical or third party readings. We're just going to do spiritual growth, spiritual readings. You can ask for a private or a personal reading, or from spirit guide reading, or Valerie does her cards as well. She's multi-talented. She does oracle cards and as well as connect to her spirits directly. Is that right?
Yeah, and
Uh-huh.
and the more I've been working on it a long time, but it seems this is another thing that seems to be happening for humanity. If you're connected to your heart and you have your heart mind connection going, and you ground and you do your meditations. I'm not saying you have to do all that, but you remember, you start remembering more and more of your gifts. I don't think that it's like, oh, I have to learn them. I think it's we're remembering them. And that was given to me about a year or two ago from my guides. It's a remembrance. So with each turn of the planet and the days and the years, in these last couple of years, the energy has, even though it's seemingly the the news wants to make us believe the sky's falling. I feel that the energy is becoming lighter and finer, and we're connecting to our guides and guardians and our angels easier. If you're already connected, and anybody can do this. Jean and I aren't special. You can teach yourself any of this stuff. It's just a matter of you know want wanting that connection. I really wanted the connection with my guides when I started uh,
And we're all
asking.
getting in. we're all getting inspired and nudged towards this, and a lot of us are in the age of wisdom. We're all entering our the age where where we gain our wisdom, and the wisdom becomes more accessible to us. And this is also inspiring us to learn more about the human evolution, and the ascension, and the energy and the frequency change.
Yeah,
So all of this and it's almost like an awareness, a spiritual growth.
yeah,
Coming across all of humanity. So
it
we do have plenty
is.
of questions, Val. So if
Okay.
was there anything else that um,
No, if any, I mean, if it comes up, just keep in mind that we're in eclipse season. You can gently release things. It doesn't have to, that's another thing. I think humanity's taught that everything has to be hard and difficult, and it's a hard road. You got to sludge through it, and that's not true. You can really be gentle with yourself, because this is about you. It's Aries, right? It's our taking care of ourselves. Be gentle with yourself. Release what needs to go, so you can bring in more room for the stuff you prefer to have. And that's going through this little eclipse season, and then things are going to be opening up. But I do believe this: the external world, the news, is going to keep trying to trigger us, trying to get us out of our center, trying to upset us, trying to say this is happening, that's happening. And really, uh, it's best just to focus on you right now. Don't we give our energy to the wrong things, and it's not serving us, and it's by design. you know it's not supposed to. You're supposed to be frazzled and upset and stressed out. That's
don't engage in the drama. You can
right.
be aware and informed, but don't engage in the drama, because that engages your energy and that makes that grow. So
Yep.
you don't want to engage in the drama. You want to make sure that your energy is centered and focused on you and your own spiritual growth. You can be informed, and you can be a watch what's going on, but do not let it affect your own energy. This is so important for us to get through this last push that
Last
we
push,
need to get
yeah,
through.
for ascension. Because we are, and they know we're ascending, and they keep doing everything to keep us in this lower dimension. I don't know why. I don't know who they are. Well, I have my theories. But I've been around too long. I've been watching what's going on.
I think it's also just as simple as, if it wasn't hard, we wouldn't push against it. If it wasn't difficult, if it was all easy and laid back and nobody had any, contrasting things, then we wouldn't kind of move ourselves forward. This is thrusting us forward. This is showing us the contrast to make us move forward. It's really, what do they call it? Like a catalyst almost.
Yeah, it is.
And the higher and more intense that things get, the closer we are to getting to that goal spiritually as well.
Yeah.
So
It's all
wow.
about trust and faith. Trust yourself and believe in yourself, and trust the universe. So, and you're right about stepping back. Being a neutral observer position is probably the best thing I ever did, because I'd engage, I'd get sucked in to the latest news bite, and it's not healthy. It's not.
It's
Does
okay to have an opinion and say that really is inappropriate, and that is really just horrible and
oh
terrible and heart-wrenching, but don't let it take your energy. Don't let it affect your energy, and that's when you can tell the difference. That's the difference.
yeah. Thank
Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. I know that
All
Denise is
right.
here. She put her question in pretty recently. And what we're just going to ask is the next one that I have coming up. And Jessica Lynn, if you're still here, just say yes, or just say hi to us. And I have your message. She early on, even before we started, she wanted a reading. So I'm going to do Jessica Lynn next after Denise, and we have Denise coming. Denise is here now. And Fern, I just wanted to remind Fern, she's putting Moon, God love her. If you would email to Val, and I love those hearts and moons. Aren't they
Yeah,
cute?
cute.
I know, Fern. I love it. So email Val at the Love UCU 11 and put it in the subject line of your email for the free natal chart. And I keep forgetting that thing, natal chart. And some of the oh, you know what? Fern can't see. Let me put this up for her.
I always do it. It's an intuitive astrology reading based on your natal chart and the current conjunctions. I got to figure out how to make that sound. It's not easy.
I know. Interpretation. So,
Yeah.
Fern, if you're watching, here it says Val's email is loveucu11 at Gmail. And that's LOVE, the letter U, the letter C, the letter U, 11 at gmail.com, and put moon in the subject line. And she's on Facebook, so she can't see all the other
Oh,
posts. So that's
oh,
why I wanted to put that up for her.
okay.
And I'll go right back to
Denise.
Denise. We have Denise,
Oh, Denise.
and
Well, that's kind
and then Jessica's next. That's who I have. Yeah.
of okay.
Oh, good. Fern says thanks. I see the email. You're welcome, Fern. I
No,
know it's hard sometimes. The Facebook people get forgotten, and
I'm impressed. You know how to do all this, Gina. I'm like, what? How are we everywhere? I love that we can do it though.
they're very lovely people on Facebook, and they are just so supportive, and they ask such really highly evolved spiritual questions. I really love, and I want to make sure that they get the experience. Some say, "Well, we can't see, we didn't know," and I'm like, "Oh, I forgot." So, but anyway, okay. So Denise says a spirit guide message would be awesome. Thank you in
Mm,
advance. Thank you, Denise.
I know. Denise, your guides are. Do you want me to go first, or?
Yes, please do,
Oh,
because I was just yeah.
you are on a new, I mean, this is okay. I'm probably going to say this a few times today, but you really are on a new path, and it is about you seeking joy. Seek what brings you, that just it fills your heart, really, for you. Um, you're, we're all starting in this space, in these new energies, and they're creational. I see you jumping around for joy. I don't know why. I think that your guides are saying either they want you to jump for joy and go pursue that thing that will do that for you, or you really are doing it, and they're excited for you. Both. They said both. Okay, so that's what I got for Denise.
It's going to take me another minute.
Sure. And well, let's see what else I got. And
It's right.
remember, you create your own reality, Denise. We all do. This is for everybody. We do. We create our own reality. And what are those ingredients that are important to you?
I'm hearing the words taking back your power. I'm
Mm,
hearing the words like some things that were that you would let slide before, you're just not going to let slide anymore. You're going to start, requiring people around you to speak in a compassionate manner, and things that are gossipy are not really going to tolerate. You're not going to tolerate them anymore, and it's just like a new level of expectancy. Like you're going to expect people to live on or to behave around you and have the energies around you that are of compassion, cooperation, collaboration, kindness and forgiveness, and these types of things. These higher vibrational heart virtue things are going to be what's required in all of society, in me and in you and everyone around us. If we hold each other accountable and we hold each other as an example of what we will tolerate, this is what I see in you, that you're going to be taking your power back by exhibiting the behavior of what you expect in the world. And I believe in humanity. I believe in our communities. I believe that um, innately we are all high vibrational beings. We are all one. We all have that divine spark inside. And you know this, and you've been wanting to have everybody else know this too. And by you being the example, it will spread and allow other people to live up to that example as well.
Beautiful.
Yeah, thank you, Denise. That was really inspiring. Very inspiring. Thank you,
Mhm.
Denise. So Jessica Lynn is here. She says, "Yes, I'm here." Aw. And Denise says, "Thank you."
Okay.
You're
So,
welcome. It was pretty
oh,
powerful,
yeah,
Denise.
that was. It's
I
like,
think it was a message for all of us too.
yeah, I did too. It's like, it's time.
So Denise or Jessica says, finding employment and finances.
Okay.
Let me just see. And okay. Um,
Mm.
so let's do Dream Detective Kate next
Okay.
after Jessica.
Okay.
And I'm going to do a little, I forgot I was going to put my glasses on. When I do this, I have to put, I can't see. Yeah, so if anybody else wants a spirit message or a card or personal uh, of reading,
Mhm. Mhm. Okay. Do you mind if I go
yep, please do.
next? I feel, Jessica, that you've kind of felt stuck, like, and this is a normal feeling too. I want to go into that. We've all felt stuck the last few years, and like, where do I belong? Where's my direction? So I think you're leaving behind a few things, moving on, realizing, because you realized you were not where you prefer to be. And once you uh, it takes courage to move on, to leave one job to go to the next, or relationship or anything, but you're talking about employment. And you the minute I see you decide, make that decision, it's like the whole all the doors open. It's, what do you want? And you will find it, and you will be able to go through and find that uh, correct employment for you. Yeah, yeah, Jessica, we have, and we've all let go of a lot in the last past few years. So really put that thought in that. Um, where's this one card? It is, you are the maker of your life, right? And you, by focusing on what you want, it manifests. What By focusing on, and putting that energy into the things you want instead of the things that you don't want. Look at how much you had already let go. Kind of like what Jean and I were talking about, this new moon eclipse. Write that list of anything that's left lingering, burn it, and then give it a day and let the eclipse pass, and write the list of, in detail, of what it is you would prefer to have, what kind of job you would really just like, wouldn't even feel like a job. You're so excited about it. That's what I'm seeing. And I think that's a choice, again, that all of us are making. It's no longer going to work to settle just to make money, because if we're doing that, we're fighting against spirit, and spirit, it, isn't can't support something your heart doesn't support. And and you make that decision and the doors will open. What I'm seeing.
Sorry, I'm saying I agree. My mic was off. I just wanted to say I agree, and it's very similar or somewhat similar to Denise's reading before. Is take our power back. I think this is going to be a theme to take our power back. I feel as though you felt defeated, and it's almost like no matter how hard you tried, it wasn't really worth um, getting to the next place. So you just said, forget it. I'm just going to throw it all up in the air and come what may. And at that time, the feeling of being defeated was in the energies. I do know that you are empathic,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's time for us to take control and take responsibility and to decide and to create our own joy, our own path forward. Find out what you do uniquely that you do best and go and do that. Whether it's a spiritual type of job or whether it's a 3D type of job, it's very important that you find what you do best that brings you joy and do that. And don't be afraid to start something new in a different category. Like if you were always in marketing and communications, you can move into finance, or you can move into HR, or you can move into maybe childcare, or you know uh, uh, work with pets and maybe pet cleaning, or something. Just something that you feel that you are going to be happy at doing, and this will propel you forward.
Yeah, and you really do have all the tools. You have everything within you to start anything that you would enjoy, that your life would feel meaningful. I think that's the big thing here too, is that we didn't have meaning really before, and this is why we had to release so much in these last few years, because that is important. If we don't feel like we what we're doing is meaningful to us, there's no point in pursuing that avenue anymore. It has to be heart based, or a preference, a desire, something you want to learn. And I think you would also be really good with helping people on some way, in some way.
Yep,
But
yep. I see
I
it
would
too. She did say
also,
she's changing her career now. Good for you, Jessica.
yeah, yeah,
All the best to you, and thank you very much for your question. Thank you. So, Dream Detective Kate is next, and she would like a card for the upcoming month. And I have Tasha. Tasha, if you're still here, let me know. Um, oh, good for you, Jessica. She's going into healthcare. That's much more heart centered.
I, good. Yeah, I feel her helping people. That's so awesome. Good luck to you, Jessica.
You're welcome. She says, thanks for the messages. Very
Yeah.
appreciated. So I know that Tasha asked her question early on. So Tasha, just let me know if you're here. And if not, I'll let you guys know who's next. So Dream Detective Kate, what's coming up for the next month? Val, you can go ahead whenever you're ready. I'm gonna.
Okay, I got our keyword lately, Kate, is trust. But something I picked a card for you, and it said eliminate distractions. Stop shining light on things you are not. How can you reclaim your power? And I see you all together. You got it all together. So I don't know. I taking a break. Maybe it's time to take that little break and go in and really assess how you want to go forward. You're just so full of love and you're so sweet. I mean, everybody here is. I love this community, and people really feel like beat up these last few years. Sometimes and we're releasing a lot, and we're releasing a lot, and we haven't been seeing much in the way of results. But now that's going to be different. But if you need that break, take it. Let what needs to go go, and trust. I'm gonna put it in the
Yeah,
chat.
that's really good, Val. And I got that you have a very high expectation of yourself and that you are, it's almost, it could possibly be uh, you expect a lot from yourself, and it's not anything anybody can achieve all the time. So to give yourself that break that Val was talking about, give yourself a little bit of leeway to uh, regenerate, recoup. And I do see that you'll be leading a group, so I'm not sure if there's some sort of a group that you will be beginning and educating and sharing, but I do see you as a leader of a group, and it's your own group. And it may be like an awareness, or like some sort of a circle that you do this. Yeah, it's also for your own growth, so that you can be seen and that you can be
Mm-hmm.
it can be reciprocal to you, so that you can receive the feedback and the admiration of others that it has been missing for quite some time, just because you haven't put yourself in that place. And this will help uh, to ease that edge, and that high expectation, and kind of round it, and see yourself as the human being that you are, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Aw,
Yeah.
she said trust. Good for you. Yeah.
It is. It's serious. And it's that's for everybody. We gotta trust that we are on the that what our heart and our preferences are saying to us is the path. And it's so scary because we're so used to, well, I go to work over here. Don't I hate it, but I make my money there to go live the rest of my life over here. And it's spirit was just that's too unbalanced. We can't go forward like that anymore.
So Hypnicity has a question, and she said, I'd love a general message from Spirit. Hi, Hypnicity. Thank you for being here. And Star Midnight, if you are still here, if you would just let me know. Oh, you're welcome, Drink Detective Kate.
Yeah.
Um,
Sweet.
it's Star Midnight. If you're still here, let me know. I think a lot of people did drop off because we started a while back. Um, let me give two. Amanda Carroll, if you're still here, either Star Midnight or Amanda Carroll. How's that? Ethnicity. Go ahead, Val, if you're ready first. I just.
Yeah, hypnicity, you are so connected. But your guides are saying that it is important to relax. And it's important to know that everyone's on their own journey. We're on our own journey. And many times it doesn't seem like we get in it or we understand it, but you know more than you think you do. Like, I think that's another thing a lot of us are doing. We're not accepting, but because, I mean, let's face it, we weren't told that what our, we weren't encouraged on our spiritual growth and our spiritual path, right? And we never got that encouragement, you know. But you're a lot farther along than you think, and it's just a matter of relaxing and trusting again, you know, and realize that your journey is. They said it's expediating. I can't say.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's the word I just heard. Expediating. Expediting. That's it. Expediting. I can't get the word out. Yes.
yeah. Hmm. Yeah. I feel that there's going to be a period of quickening coming
Yeah.
up for you, that you're going to be evolving at a more rapid pace than, just for like a week or so. But it's going to be like an awareness, and it's almost like an enlightening is going to be coming over you, that you'll see things in a different way. It's almost like a gift, and that revealing that Val said was going to happen for all of us is going to happen to you, and you're going to be like, oh, I get it now. Oh, that
Mhm.
makes so much more sense. And
Mhm.
oh, she said it's like onion is peeling. You're right. You're
Yeah,
right. That's right
yeah,
too.
and
Yeah.
it is. It is. I mean, I'm in awe every day. I learn something new every day, and I'm like, oh my god, I did not know that. Jean and I were talking before the show, and she just really got said something. And I was like, wow, it's been there the whole time. I didn't see it, and that's part of this eclipse thing too. Hypnicity is dropping that old uh, those chains that had us bound under false pretenses of us not believing in ourselves. Let's just put it there. And we have to. Well, I mean, if we don't believe in ourselves, there's no one else here that's going to do it for us. I don't
Yeah.
know if that makes sense.
That's really, really good. Wonderful hypnicity. Good for you. I'm
Yeah,
so happy for you.
oh, no, I'm excited.
That was pretty intense too. So Amanda Carroll said she is here. So after Amanda Carroll, I have Wiki.
Okay.
And I know that Wiki's here. And then after Wiki is Heather Caldwell. And I think that might be it for
Okay.
the, yeah, letting go of other people's judgment, she said.
Hmm.
Sammy, let me see.
It's hard.
Okay. All
It's
right,
hard.
Sammy, I see you too. Thank you. Amanda Carroll says, when I was a child, about 10, visiting Kauai, I awoke in the night and looked out the window and saw the stars, dot to dot, forming the zodiac in the sky. I've always been curious about this.
Oh, wow. Are you interested in astrology now, or astronomy or astrology? I wonder. I'd like to know, because that was a gift. I see a gift. They were giving you a gift. And,
Not everybody would be able to put two and two together like that. Not everybody would be able to see that formation and understand that in their mind. It had to have been something from a past life or something, some sort of knowing that came to you. Um,
yes,
that's beautiful.
that is really cool. And and this is like what our guides do for us. They present this magic to us, and then you question the reality of it. But the things that are presented to us are gifts, and they're gifts.
Suggestions for inspiration too.
Yes, definitely.
So
You
Amanda says,
do.
heck yeah, interested in both. I just thought I got lucky. But
Yes,
I think it was a hint. I think it was a hint from your higher self or your
yes,
guides that this may be something you would be interested in or moving towards later, or an opportunity for you. So you should, if you so choose. Um, but yeah, that was really, really neat, Amanda, and beautiful. And it's amazing that you said that when you were young, when you were about 10, this happened, and that you're still thinking about it now. And
that's how
that's,
you know
I
it was
know.
real, right? It is real. They gave you. They. I'm actually seeing. I didn't mean to cut you off, Jean,
No,
but
no.
something popped in my head about. I'm, I'm actually seeing that they gave you this show, right, of the stars. I just heard say you remember that you are a star. You are, and they're saying that in the context of like we're all shining stars, right? And these things that they do to show us is to it isn't to scare us, and it isn't to run us off or any of that. It's to get us in that uh, awe. When you're in a state of awe, and you can create anything in that state. And it's like the more that you acknowledge the awe state, the more that comes in. That's how they wanted me to say it. Finally got it out. But that is really
Denise is
cool.
Denise is saying that's amazing, and Denise had an amazing reading as well. So
Mhm.
thank you, Amanda, for all of your feedback. And she said a vivid scene.
Yeah.
Good for you, Amanda.
And you could call them in. I just heard that. Call in them in. You could call in more God's higher self, or if you can name your higher self or whoever, and say, "Could I see some more vivid scenes? Could I see more?" And they will. All right,
Wonderful. Wiki is here. Hi, Wiki. She says, may I have a spirit guide message, please? Thank you for being here. And after, you're welcome, Amanda. She says, thank you both. After Wiki is Heather. So Heather Caldwell. Heather, if you're still here, just say hi. Wiki, may I have a spirit guide message, please?
Mm.
Go ahead. Did you get something?
Yeah, Wiki. Are you? I see. I know that you're around and you're into the spiritual community and you're always around. But are you listening to your intuition? That there's something that they're saying to you uh, to open the door for for your new path. And I'm not sure if you're. They want you to focus in with them more often and get into the now and figure uh, utilize what it is that they're bringing to you. There's something they're bringing into you, and I think you're getting it. And but again, you might feel like, oh, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if you want me to do that? Like, then all of us do that. We say, I don't think I'm the right person, but in this case, you are. And they want me to say that if you're hearing things, it's not because they made it, they don't think you can do it. We're hearing it because yes, please trust. I was just going to say it. They want us to trust. Trust what you're hearing, trust what you're receiving. It's really important for you.
Try not to listen to that ego or rational mind telling
Mhm.
you that you're afraid to do it, or that you can't do it, or that you're not good enough to do it. All of that is ego, because ego
Mhm.
wants to remain in control, and your spiritual side is asking you to trust and throw caution to the wind and give them the benefit of the doubt that everything's going to work out okay. Put it all into their hands and take a step forward. And it's amazing how much more in control you are when you don't let that egoic mind lead you.
Mhm. Yeah, and the ego, oh boy. Yeah, they want me to say this about ego. If the voice that's talking to you is abusive, is telling you you're not good enough, telling you you're never good enough, please, you say thank you. I hear you, but you are now. I ask you to leave, or however you want to say it, and focus in. The voice of your heart and your spirit guides is so low, and they talk sweet and loving. They're not rude and rash or uh, abusive.
Yeah.
And I know we're used to that. I know we are, and it's a lot of this last 3 years was to release that out of us. But it's so down in the cellular structure, you know.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um,
You don't have to believe every thought that you think.
no, mm-mm, no,
We have two different minds.
yeah,
Woof.
yeah.
Very.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's a good point, Jean, because we have a right hemisphere and a left hemisphere, and we connect them. You just say you cross your arms like this, or you hold your hands. This helps your you connect your divine feminine side to your divine masculine side. Because a lot of times we can be overly in one side or the other, but do things to like calm yourself, like do some breathing exercises, do those things that connect your two hemispheres together. It's so important, and it's so simple, and we don't think about it. I wish Juno was around because she knows what it's called, and I can't remember the name of it. But these simple little things that we can do to help ourselves get out of that uh, those old habits of listening to the abusive ego, you know.
Self-talk that isn't very productive or empowering.
Yeah.
And Wiki says she gets a lot of messages in her music, and I think that this is one way that you get your messages. But believe that, and acknowledge that, and thank that, and write that down, and celebrate that, so that they know that you want, and that you heard, and that you want, and you can bring in more. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. We have just two more, and Heather is here. And Sammy, if you're still here, we'll take you. You'll be the last there. But I think Sammy said. I think I saw Sammy not
And
too
Jean,
long
that was
ago.
a good point too. Gratitude opens up the doors faster than anything. I do like little gratitude every morning to anything that just pops in my mind. I say thank you for it, and not saying I have all the answers because I certainly don't. But it really has helped me with, because I had a really bad negative mind that was abusive to me, and it took me a lot of little tips and tricks to learn how to break that, break away from it, and only hear
Mhm.
spirit.
Especially when you get those messages and you get those synchronicities and you see the numbers in a row. I
Yeah.
used to just kiss my little finger and say thank you, just a little an acknowledgement, and not say, oh, that's just because I look at the clock every day at that time. No, it's a message. If you see it and you have that feeling that there's a message there, just say thank you. What does it hurt? You can explain it away. You can say somebody dropped that penny. It's not a message for me. Or you can say thank you for the message. They're sending you these messages to show a little bit of acknowledgement and gratitude for them to know that you're welcoming it and that you want more. Yeah.
And they will. The more you say thank you, the more the message, the faster the messages come in too. You start just noticing everything, and I just say thank you to all of it. There's Sammy. Hi,
Yep.
Sammy.
Sammy's here. Okay, so Heather says, may I have a message regarding our future partner? I've been single for a long time. Absolutely, Heather. Let's take a look at that. You're welcome. I'm
Mm.
going to use my pendulum.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready, Val, you can jump in.
I heard what you're seeking is also seeking you. So, and this is another weird thing, right? It's we've just been getting out of the house and being able to go out and mingle and hang out with people. I don't know if that is something that you are dealing with. I know I'm having a hard time leaving the house. I don't really want to. Um, I don't know. Every time I see your name, I see a lot of flowers, um, like a botanical garden or a garden. And I don't know why they're showing me that. I'm asking. Um, he said, "What a nice place to meet a nice partner." Is what I just heard. So
Beautiful.
yeah, maybe be out
Yeah.
there in the springtime somewhere around the flowers, or maybe it's springtime. No, and they said it's around the flowers.
Warrior Girl saw it too, she said. She said, me
Oh,
too, Val. She saw that too. So, yeah, and everybody, yeah, it takes a village. Um,
yeah.
so, Heather, what I'm seeing for you is it's important to she said she's trying to get out there more. I was told about San Francisco Botanical Gardens. Wow.
It's cool. That is so cool. Try to go out to the gardens. I don't, especially now this time of year. It seems like it's this spring. It's now. The more you get out there and mingle. Go ahead, Jean. What were you saying? I'm
I
sorry.
was just they were showing me that it's important for us to behave and to begin as if we were in the relationship that we want to have. And we want to um, go out to dinner and have fun and all of these things that we're going to be doing when we're in a relationship. They want you to do this now and not just almost behave as if the relationship is already happening. And this is an energetic kind of a magnetic energy that is creating around you. It's almost like the power. What was it? Oh, can't think of the term.
Oh
It's a
yeah, the energy, the law of attraction.
law of attraction. Thank
Yeah.
you. That's what I'm thinking of. The law of attraction. And they're also suggesting that you anything that you have in your home, it's a feng shui practice. Anything you have in your home that has a picture of one flower or picture or a vase that is only has one vase. Try and set up things in couples, in twos. If you have a vase, put two vases around. If you have a picture,
Mhm.
make sure it has a picture of two or more. If you have, there, it's try and put things in couples, try and place things in couples, do things in couples. The power of two is it will generate this law of attraction around you as well. And also behaving as if you were already out dating. Make sure you do your hair really cute, put the extra earrings on, and wear the high heels if you want, because you want to, this is you being in this relationship.
Mhm.
um, it's lifting up that energy, and it also opens up the attractiveness, the um, yeah, just the energy for people to be aware of it. They'll be attracted to your energy, because people who are in relationships don't put off the energy of I'm available. Um,
Yeah.
it's the excitement, it's the happiness that you'll be when you're in this relationship is what you want to feel now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that when you said put the twos together. Yeah, that is such a good idea.
coupling.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. Two flowers together, two vases. But
Hmm.
yeah, it is dating yourself first. Date yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself enough to date yourself, and you'll have that energy that Jean's talking about. Yes. Create your own magnetic energy of the couple energy. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And, when you have expectations, you want to look for somebody who is a wonderful companion, because at the end of the day, that's what you're gonna be. And, look for friendship, look for companionship. And if
Mhm.
that does grow into something romantic, then that's a bonus. But, it's also just being the friend, being the, you know, and just open to companionship, and
Mhm.
just finding somebody um, to strike up a conversation with, and getting to know different people. And then when they talk, pay attention to how you feel about their energy when they talk. If you like, oh, if you cringe, you know what kind of energy that is. But different people's energy, and it'll sharpen your sort of radar. But try and talk to different people, or just say hello and look at people in their eyes. Very, very nice, Heather.
It is nice. And you, Heather, I do feel something. Just feel something this spring, but definitely date yourself. Put yourself on a pedestal. And what Jean was saying is uh, absolutely correct. You want to look for companionship. It is write the list out. This is another thing we can do. We can write a detailed list of all the things you would like to see in a partner. You know, make sure you detail it. And again, I would do that definitely before eclipse. I wouldn't do that during eclipse season right now. I think you already have a good idea of the partner that you would like to know. So just write it out again today. Put it with a two vases with two flowers in it, or something like Jean said, because I see the flowers, or something about the flowers are really important.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Mhm.
A new romance blooming, right?
Mhm. Yeah. I love what Kate said here. Where'd it go? She said, "Loving yourself is a dress rehearsal for
A loving a
one."
partnership. Yep.
Yes. Forget how important that is to love and accept ourselves.
You're welcome. She said, "This is awesome to hear." And sometimes it's just needed to hear it come out of somebody else's mouth, so that you
Yeah.
can, you know, remind yourself of what you already know. And I think you do already know, and it's nice just to be reminded and reassured. But thank you very much, Heather, for your question, and all the best to you. Make sure you get back to us because spring is in the air, right?
Yeah.
So we have Sammy, and Sammy wants to know about your health. And we don't do actual medical questions, but what we can do is kind of get the energy. And what I like to do is read your chakras, sort of, and get your energy and the balance, things like this. So let me just tune into Sammy Bahrain.
Um, so, see.
I would work on balancing your chakras. I see that your solar plexus is a little weakened, and I see that your sacral is a little weakened. That's the orange and the yellow.
Mhm.
And it's not that it's just that the other, you may be up in your higher chakras, working on this all the time, working on your
Mhm.
third eye, your throat, and your these all the time, and it's just not balancing. You're forgetting about the solar and the sacral. And if you run your chakras to balance them and equal the intensity. Also, picture that wheel, that chakra wheel, spinning and turning into a jewel tone color. And if it's not
Mhm.
jewel tone, if it's kind of cloudy or hazy at all, picture that the spin is in such a strong force that these little fuzzy, gray areas get flung
Mhm.
off, and that the chakra is just beaming all that jewel tone color really, really strongly. And this is an intention that you can do for yourself. And by doing this, this will help yourself, your energy, your energetic self as well, because it's empowering yourself that you can do this. It's your intention, and it's energetic work. I would also suggest maybe looking into a Reiki practitioner to help you along with this and assist you with this, and or an acupuncturist to help balance that energy throughout.
I got the same thing, Dean. I focused in on the sacral and a little bit on the solar plexus, but it was definitely around the sacral chakra area. And I was asking the pendulum. I think it did, and how Jean said to align your chakras is so true. You could see them in that real jewel tone, and anything gray or fuzzy spinning off of it. But there are different there's all kinds of meditations on YouTube that you can listen to. I used to have a really hard time with my sacral chakra. A lot of us do, um, and I needed a lot of clearing. But an energy worker will help, like Jean said. There's so many things you can do for yourself too, though. If you don't have the means to go out and get help, I would definitely do the videos on and oh God, what's that called? The frequencies, the hertz. There's a certain hertz for the sacral and solar plexus.
Is it binaural beats you're talking about, or
Uh,
the
so
suffragio?
Faggio. I can never say the word.
Solfeggio, yeah, the
Yeah.
solfeggio frequency. And I'm letting you know that I worked in a lot of energy healing. I do Reiki, and I
Oh,
do the what the sound healing as well as crystal healing, and I'm letting you know it definitely works. One time I
yeah.
went for an energy healing session, and my after the session my underarms were so sore. I said, I feel like I've been walking around on crutches. My underarms were so sore. Here they cleaned out those lymph nodes under my
Oh,
arms, and
oh,
it had drained so intensely that I was sore there. And they always tell you to make sure that you drink a lot of water and stuff, but
wow.
this is energy healing does
Hmm.
this. And it's very
Hmm.
very it's wonderful, and it's an alternative source, and it really does make a big difference. It doesn't seem like it because in our lifetimes we haven't seen this, but I'm letting you know it is what works. I mean, obviously if there's something of a major concern with you, consult your doctor, because
Yeah,
we are not physicians here. But if it's an energetic thing, then we can all do a lot of these remedies for ourselves as well.
yeah. And I mean, we're all energy with energy centers all throughout our body. We have the main chakras. Um, and I would work on them each one at a time. Then I learned how to, I would connect, my third eye to my heart, my throat to my heart, my crown to my heart. And I see this like infinity symbol, all connecting all the different energy parts of my body. But like Jean said, the lymphatic system is probably the one that gets jammed up the most. There's lymph nodes in us everywhere, and I don't,
Exercise, movement.
and maybe I don't know if this is true. Do you feel like maybe are you stuck on forgiving something? I don't know why I'm getting forgive. I don't know if it's yourself or someone else or something.
Emotional
Control.
energy is linked to these as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's very important to do our own work.
yeah,
It manifests in the physical. And
yeah,
yeah, if you're worried or if you're upset or if somebody hurt you and you can't forgive them, that manifests in that area as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Really does.
Oh,
Yeah,
everybody's helping Sammy in the chat. I love
yeah.
it.
It is fear. It's a lot of fear. A lot of fear got stuck, and not just from this lifetime. This is over lifetimes, and it gets stuck in us in different spots, and that's why it's so hard to like get that voice out of my head. That was a hard thing for me to do. I would for years I would replace that negative thought immediately with a positive thought. It took a while, but it one day it was just automatic. you know it's something we haven't been used to uh, on this dimension in form, and now we're learning a new way to go forward in form and know that we're energy and how to heal with energy. And
All right. Thank you very much, Sammy. We appreciate your question. And thank you, each and every one of you, for helping us along. Oops, sorry, I hit that twice. For helping us in this, in our endeavor today. And thank you for helping Valerie by subscribing to her channel. And, I lost that. If anybody would like to enter for the free reading, they can contact Valerie on her email, and I'll also put it down in the chat box or in the description box below, to enter the free reading with Valerie. And it's the natal chart. Say that again. Combined with.
it's your natal chart combined with the current planetary placements, transits, where they are right now in conjunction with your natal chart. And we look at, some planets are further away and go slower, so I get more information there. Some are real close to Earth and go faster. And it just depends on where they are in your chart. And it's really informative, and it really will help you focus in on your path forward. We're all kind of at that. Where's my path?
But I'm first. I already
Yeah.
booked with her. I already booked with her, and we're going to trade. I'm going to give her a reading. She's going to give me a reading, but I'm first. And then as soon as she's done with me, then she'll take care of you guys.
Yes.
No, it's wonderful. It's really, really wonderful. And you all will be schooling us in the next episode, I'm sure.
I
Well,
hope so.
thank you,
Yeah.
Valerie. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Valerie. And everyone here. We really appreciate all of the participation and your support. Have a wonderful Sunday, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.